Yes! We're live, Senna.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's exciting.
Right. I'm very excited. So I was thinking about this a lot, Senna. I was thinking, who is the right person to get on the show first? Mm-hmm. And with the amount, first of all, dude, Senna, we've talked countless hours of business mindset. So this is mainly directed towards people that are, business owners, people that are in the sales environment, working for themselves, not necessarily in a corporate position.
Right.
It can apply to them, but this is mainly about business strategy, business mindset, positivity. Those are the three topics that I really want to hit hard with this video show, and I'm excited because there's nobody better than to start it with than with you. So
right.
I want to start it off, first of all, why don't you just tell us first, a little bit just about who you are and, what you do. I know there's some accolades, too, but you don't need to go into too much if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Just tell me just kind of who you are.
So
because obviously I know you really well.
For
the peeps.
My name is Senna De La Cruz. I am a commercial real estate broker based in Greater Los Angeles. But what I do is I partner with national companies,
right,
logistics, e-commerce, manufacturing companies,
mm-hmm,
and help them with their real estate. So whether they're expanding,
mm-hmm,
consolidating, redoing their supply chain.
Right.
The whole Amazon phenomenon right now is people are changing the way they shop,
mm-hmm,
which means companies are starting to pop up distribution centers,
right,
and redoing how they deliver their products to their customers.
So you're the guy who just makes sure that they get the right deal as far as the real estate side of that.
Correct, because they want to pay the least amount as possible,
right,
so that they have more money to spend in other parts of their business.
Sure. So you're essentially just making sure that on the real estate end, they're being financially savvy, efficient, and whatnot. So you're the guy to go to. If somebody, let's just say, if you go up to approach somebody and somebody just happens to need a building, you might be that guy.
That's me.
I love that. All right, first question, Senna. What are you going to name your yacht when you get your first yacht?
I haven't really thought about that, but off the cusp, yacht number 1. Because I'm going to name yacht number 2, yacht number 2.
Perfect. Great answer. I love that. Also, I think yachts, in general, just boats and ships, they're supposed to be named after girls or women.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. But anyways, that was my first question. I want to ask you about balance. And I think that's something we talk about pretty often.
Yeah.
Balance and how balance can... what do you do for your balance to, first of all, work, and then to enjoy your life as well? Because there's a fine balance. Obviously, a lot of people love what they do. You probably love what you do.
Yeah.
It's important, and I think it's important for to be very, very successful. You should love what you do,
mm-hmm,
and it helps with being, executing on that. But what do you do to balance fun, work, life,
right,
balance?
That's a good question. I mean, we talk about this all the time.
Right.
We're still young. I'm still young.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're all still trying to figure that out. But
right,
what I do is I schedule my day into blocks. So for this amount of time, I'm going to
mm-hmm,
do this. For this amount of time, I'm going to go to the gym. For this amount of time, I'm going to read something new. For this amount of time, I'm going to watch somebody new.
Dang, I didn't know that.
So that's what I try and do.
Do you write it down, or what do you do? You put it on your calendar, on your phone, or what is it?
Initially, I did. Initially, I wrote it down. I was like, here's how I'm going to spread my day. But then you start to get into a flow, and
it just happens. So you mentally...
It just happens. And then the interesting thing is, life happens, right? Things happen. So then you've got to be able to adjust. You got to be, right, you got to balance it, but also be okay when life hits you with a curveball out of left field.
Definitely.
And you didn't even see it coming. So you've got to be able to adjust.
Right.
Yeah,
100% agree. Yeah, I think just being efficient and planning your day. I know there's a lot of successful people that you may watch and I watch that they talk about basically packing their day, and it's not a matter of what time you wake up. You don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m.
Right.
It's a matter of wake up whenever, but when the hours that you are awake,
get the most out of that
time.
Maximize
that time.
Yeah.
And I think, dude, scheduling, blocking out
that's
your day.
That's really important.
Super, super important, dude, because you could wake up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., 4 a.m.
and not do anything for 3 hours.
Yeah, you could just waste your whole
watch Netflix for 3 hours.
Exactly, or watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, I don't do that sometimes. Sometimes I do, like, waste time watching, like, videos, and I'm just like, but I think that's a great way to just be more efficient with that, for sure. So that's one thing I think about a lot, and that's good that you balance. What about, like, other fun activities that you do?
To touch on that more, like, there's some people, too, that just kind of go with the flow of things, and they're also, they do it well.
You mean
there's
just
so many people that I just are kind of like, I've met that are just kind of carefree, and they kind of go through things and go with the flow.
Right.
And that works for them.
Right.
Which, so everybody's different. Different strokes for different folks,
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But when it comes down to, like, we're here talking about, like, business mindset, business strategy, and if, like, positivity and whatnot. Yeah. I think if you really want to take your success to a new level, I think it's really important to do those kind of things. Yeah. Structure, because unless you're just, like, you can structure stuff in your mind, like, super, super well, then good for you, know? But look at Kobe Bryant. Like, for example, we just talked about the other day about Kobe Bryant. I think Kobe Bryant would wake up at 4 a.m. because he just did the math that he essentially, if he started waking up at 4 a.m., worked out for a couple hours, then went back to sleep, then woke up when everyone else woke up.
Right.
He was already putting in, like, by the time everyone else caught up, he was already putting in years more of work.
Right.
So
I guess what I was trying to say is, like, not being stuck in the same thing every day. Like, yeah, you'd want to do things and you want to build consistency, but implementing new things and being like, okay, like, this didn't work, that worked, I think is also very important. And then you probably have to restructure your whole schedule. Like, that's what I've been on, especially with the new decade. Like, I think you always have to be able to look back and be like, okay, what's working, what's not working.
Right.
And then restructure.
Sure.
So your structure, like my structure right now, might change in a month, 2 months, I don't know.
Yeah.
I figure something else new. This is hot. I'm getting hot.
But you're comfortable with your current structure. Go for it. You're comfortable with your current structure, though.
Currently, yes. But I'm always looking to...
Just put it right there.
It's going to get wrinkled, but...
Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is an interesting one as well.
Yeah.
What's the worst advice you've ever received, and what's the best advice that you've ever received? Off the top of your head, I know this one's kind of tough. Not always like somebody has that like ready to go, but what's a really good piece of advice you received, and maybe from like a mentor or somebody, like maybe I know Chuck might probably hand you a lot of good pieces.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always be open to learning something new.
Right.
Like, if you're not learning something new every single day, then that's a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's a huge problem. Like, you have to always be learning something new.
Yeah.
The worst piece of advice, I don't know how to think about that one. Probably, let's go to McDonald's. I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so let's talk more about like specifically your role at Colliers, because I honestly we've talked a bunch of times. You've told me like pretty much in detail what you do, but what would be your like best piece of advice for somebody who's just like day one
in commercial real estate?
I'm going into commercial real estate.
Oh man.
And dude, I want to be successful. Like, let's just say their goal is, because everyone has different goals, but their goal is I want to make $1 million.
Right.
You know? I want to make $1 million, and I want to help as many people as possible. Senna, like, please give me a piece of advice. Like, I need something. I need to get going. I want to hit the ground running fast. Yeah. So what would you say to like some new guy that just walked in the doors?
Be quick, but don't hurry. Shout out James Malone. That's a good one. I had all this like anxiety and like pressure that I put on myself to like do really well really fast. But what I would say is, not just in commercial real estate, in anything, like, it's gonna take time,
right?
No matter what. Like, and if I would have known that, I would have been much more calm and like been able to, I don't know, I think I would have had a pretty good pace, but
right,
I think people these days, especially our generation, millennials,
They want it.
They want it now. And so when it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in,
Oh, definitely.
they're like, all right, it hasn't clicked, I'm out. And they do something
give up.
else. You can't, like, I think someone coming in out of college or like into the workforce, you have to give yourself at least 6 months to adjust to even like working.
Right.
Like you do internships, you do side jobs, but like
That's true.
working
I think you're right.
all day, like you need to adjust to that. When are you gonna fit the gym in? When are you gonna eat? Like
it's different. It's a different schedule. Like, for the last, I mean, that's assuming they went to college in a 4-year university.
Right.
But for 4 years, your schedule was changing every quarter, every semester.
Yeah.
It was like, now my class is in the morning, now my class is at night.
Yeah.
So now you're out of college, and now all of a sudden, like you just said, like work.
Yeah.
9 to 5. Dude, that's not the same.
It's not.
So you said, I'm sorry, go fast.
Be quick, but don't hurry.
Okay, be quick, but don't hurry.
Go fast, but don't hurry. Yeah. So like, do always be looking to like be productive, but don't put so much pressure on yourself where you can't even think clearly, and you like, listen to what your managers or whatever are doing what you know you need to do, because your mind's going so fast that you can't even think straight.
Yeah. So that guy, what you said, Joe Malone or something?
James Malone. That's his thing, which is actually his coaches at UCLA's.
Did he say that directly to you, or did you just hear that like through the grapevine?
They actually did. They interviewed him. They did an article on him, and they're like, "What's your favorite quote?" And that was it.
Is it the guy that was with Grant Cardone, maybe? Or?
No. That was Ward Richmond.
Oh, okay.
Different guy.
Dang! Shout out to Ward Richmond.
Shout out to Ward Richmond too.
I hope he sees
Get
it.
in front of Grant Cardone.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
We're coming up there soon.
That's right.
But dude, yeah, it's very interesting. I think it's a very similar thing in the insurance industry as well. And I think it's interesting. Sometimes I wish like you could just see the real, like really how insurance is, but time is one of the most like important things in insurance. The longer you're in the game, the better you're going to do, because it just builds. It just keeps building and building. Yeah. I think real estate's a little
the same, yeah.
But you're building your client base, you're doing your thing, and you're building up. So any other pieces of advice besides go fast or go quick, but don't hurry?
No, I think for young people, like always, at least for me, I think what's helped me personally is always be willing to out yourself first. Like, I think we as young people want to be able to walk into a room and represent ourselves and like be able to prove to people like we have what it takes to get it done. And so sometimes we like not put on a front, but we try to overcompensate when it's completely fine to be like, I don't know, and I'll get back to you. Right. Like, and I think for me, I'm always looking to be I'm careful how I say this, probably the least experienced in the room. If I ever think that like I know everything, I gotta get get in a new room.
That's true. Actually, I think I've heard several times people say that.
Friends.
You never want to be the smartest person in the room. Yeah,
like the friends that I pick because it's choice, right?
Definitely, dude.
The people you surround yourself with, like, if they're not I don't want to say intimidating you, but if they're not pushing you,
that's true,
or challenging you, and not just for the sake of challenging you, but they're throwing out new, productive, positive ideas that go against maybe what you had before. 100%
agree.
Then you're probably you've got to find those people.
Yeah. I think another great little one-liner that I've heard recently is stay uncomfortable. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what you just said. Stay uncomfortable. For sure. For example, I'm starting this right now. This is the first episode, first thing.
Yeah, I've never done something like this before either.
So I mean, dude, this is not. I'm not super comfortable talking in front of a camera and being in front of I'm just putting myself, getting vulnerable. Yeah. And that's awesome. Really what it is. And that's literally like what we're talking about right now, is just stay uncomfortable. And that's what I'm doing. So, I mean, that's interesting. All right. Next question for you. I've been meaning to ask this one. I don't think I ever, and as well as I know you, I don't think we've ever really talked about this one, and it's such a basic one too. What was your first deal and what did it look like? I don't think I ever, I think maybe we were on like our way to Palm Springs once and you're like, Oh yeah, like you were excited, it pumped up, it closed.
My first official.
Was that the one or no?
No, that one didn't end up closing.
No way.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
We like celebrated. We like took a drink and everything.
It was close to being closed, but it never closed.
Oh my gosh.
But
take that drink back.
I know, right? Well, I'll need another one, but
I know. There you
go. I called this guy. I cold called this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it was off a cold call.
It was off a cold call.
Wow.
And
dang, that's impressive.
I cold called him, introduced myself, and pretty much said, hey, I'm an LA real estate broker. Can I help you with your real estate?
Right.
And he's like, no, I don't have anything going on in LA, but can you help me in Houston? I was like, yeah.
Houston.
So my first deal that I did in commercial real estate was not even in LA. It was in Houston. We helped him buy a building.
Mm-hmm.
It was for like $2.3 million. And
nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice size one.
Yeah. I didn't, I brought Chuck in. Shout out to Chuck, and he helped me out close that.
Nice.
And just haven't looked back.
So, last question for you, Senna. We got to wrap this up. What would you say is like your go-to quote in life? Like, what is your go-to quote? I'm sure you have a couple of them, but what is one that you think of that you think resonates the most with you as like an individual and just life, or something you could just pass on to other people?
I would say explore the internal to navigate the external, because everything you need, you already have it, and you just have to like
explore the internal
to navigate the
external.
Because you just have to like you have to know that it's going to take time, and you also have to know that you have what it takes. Okay. To do it eventually. The belief. And the mindset. We talk about that all the time. Like, keep feeding that mindset. Keep feeding that positive story, right? Because you can. Yeah, it's a story. You can go in and tell yourself any story. Mm-hmm. It's true. But if you tell yourself that story and you hang on to that story, you're gonna. That's why I say explore the internal to navigate the external. And sometimes you're gonna look internally and you're gonna be like, my story's off. I don't like that story. Right. And like sit with that story. Sit with that bad story and face it. Don't run from it. Like face it. Right. But then also understand that that's not the story you want, Right. So and then once you cling back onto that story, that long goal, you're gonna be able to navigate the external because nothing external is gonna be able to throw you off if your internal is really on a good one. We talk about it all the time, but. Well said, Senna. Well said, and thank you, man. Thank you for coming out here. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. That's the handshake. That's the handshake. We'll keep it professional for this one. There we go, guys. Signing off. Thank you, guys.